Rouge, Louisiana, and check in with Brian Holland once again. Brian, we've talked to you on several occasions about several things as it relates to LSU. We haven't talked to you in a while about where this men's basketball program is, and I tell you, it's not in a good state. We'll keep this brief because the women are playing outstanding basketball and baseball is doing well. So there's a lot of good things to talk about. But where this men's team is right now, do you see a situation where Coach McMahon is going back into next year as the head coach of this team? Think he stays? I think we're asking these questions from a lot of different coaches around the SEC, South Carolina being one, Oklahoma being another. Now I'm asking about LSU.
By the way, I just realized by the camera shot, what am I, a suit? Like, I know I wear a suit because I have to be on air every single day. But, this is, I'm in a boardroom. I promise a better setting next time.
Good. You're number one, you're good. And number two, I feel like if you just put it at the head, it looks like you're like the head of the head board member of a CEO, like Fortune 500.
Yeah, it looks like
the optics look great.
It looks like he's in charge of whether or not Matt McMahon is coming back next year.
Yes, it honestly does look like you're the head of the committee right now, debating these very important topics.
Yeah, it's called TCB. I've been taking care of business right behind me, boardroom all set up. I planned it that way. Look, it feels like, Counselor, the first question that you asked me was a little bit leading the witness here. That's okay.
Might have been a little bit.
Look at the graphics. 3-13 in SEC play. Come on. At the same time, I've talked to some people in the know, some movers and shakers, and you're still showing up to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center every single week. Now, obviously, the women have succeeded even with the setup that they have there. But it's been talked about for so long, upgrading this program through facilities. And I know that's kind of an old school way to look at it now. You're paying for talent, not as much as the arms race of facilities. But just to be blunt, I mean, the Pete Maravich Assembly Center is not where, big time men's basketball and women's basketball LSU donors want to show up. It's an old facility. They're talking about moving into something that looks a lot like the Moody Center that you now see in Austin. Moody. Look, I hate to give Texas, the University of Texas, any credit at all about anything. But it's a beautiful facility. It's exactly what they needed.
It's haunted.
The drum, as we got to know it in the great state of, it was outdated. And I think, you're looking at something similar. So it's like, how fired up can you really get a coaching candidate about this job? Will Wade was that perfect storm where he said, no, this is like a sleeping giant.
Yep.
And from some of the fruits of his labor, it's gotten this plan now they were going to, at that time during the Will Wade years, they were talking about major renovations. So a lot of the money going back into the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Well, now the plan here in Baton Rouge has been to turn the Raising Cane's River Center, which is also past its prime, let's just say, they're in downtown Baton Rouge. I've seen concerts there, but it's not going to attract the big name folks.
Right.
It never really has. That said, I did see Elton John there one time, so I don't know what that says about that. That's a one of a kind.
Wait, what does it hold?
Man, that's a really good question. I have forgotten.
Yeah,
but it's not much.
Right.
It feels like one of those kind of old school, kind of the places you go see a rodeo at.
Okay.
It's very limited seats. You're kind of up high. The stage is low. You're looking down on it. So they've been talking about basically turning that into just a convention center and building something completely new, basically over by the LSU golf course, which is basically nothing now. I mean, it's a cow pasture pretty much. I mean, I don't really even see people playing. I used to go to the range there, and even the range, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll drive 15 minutes farther and go somewhere else. So it's really not being used.
Yeah.
LSU, the golf team uses U Club, which is 20 minutes down the road. So they're talking about completely just putting something brand new basically right there on the south side of campus. Mm-hmm. So once you do that, you know what I mean? Like, then the wheels really get turning. I don't know what you can really go get. That's the question every time. It's like, if you're going to fire someone, if you're going to move on from someone that you have money tied up in and you've invested in over several years, then you better have a really good answer when, the donors come knocking, going, hey, inspire some confidence in us, and who are we going to go get? Right now, I just, look, I'm an AP voter, hand up. I watch a lot of college basketball. My wife probably rolling her eyes if she saw me confess to that. But, man, it's just who do you go get? Like the Miami of Ohio coach. You know what I mean? There's going to be someone in March who goes on a run, right?
Yep.
And I can just tell you right now, whoever the selection committee, whoever gets paid millions of dollars to just go be the selection committee, they're just going to recommend that guy. Mm-hmm. Whoever makes it to the Elite Eight and they weren't supposed to, and they went on, the Florida Gulf Coast, the Florida Atlantic. We saw Dusty May get the job at Michigan, the wonders that he's doing there. So that worked out. But who goes on that run? Man, that's a lot to put on 19, 20, and 21-year-old kids. And then go, no, but the coach can replicate it. Mm-hmm. And basketball is such a finicky sport. If you're on, you're on. If they're not going down, you could get upset. And so it's gonna be kind of wild to see the next few weeks to see what are those candidates and how do they emerge.
We've been talking, obviously, ever since LSU hired Lane Kiffin, poured in a ton of money. I know you just talked about facilities and been trying to upgrade that. Obviously, what Kim Mulkey has done for the women's program and what Jay Johnson is doing for the baseball program. Do you think the interest just isn't there for some of these donors to buy into this men's basketball program just based on the last few years?
It is. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of pride when you talk about the history of that LSU men's basketball program. Not so much on the women's side. You see now what they're doing.
Right.
So, it can happen. I mean, I'm not breaking any news there. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is it's interesting to hear some of these donors and bigwigs and movers and shakers talk about the landscape of where the money is. Mm-hmm. Football, imagine that it's like a huge sea. And so you've got the whales and you've got the people who think they're running the sea. And, it's broad and it's vast and there's money everywhere. Yeah. Okay. So I think people get a little deceived by who are the football donors. The football donors really are everyone. When you get into baseball and women's basketball and men's basketball, and we've seen LSU gymnastics is number 2, kind of flirting with the number 1 spot, Kaylin Chio being the number 1 all around or whatever. I know you guys didn't have gymnastics talk on your bingo.
We love it, though.
Bringing it. I'm
we love it.
I'm bringing it. If you bring me on, I'm bringing it.
Yes.
So, it's weird that, all these different donors, they don't care about the other little buckets. I say little. I mean, LSU is a big-time program, and there's going to be millions of dollars flooding through each program. And so I don't mean to mean any one of these, but compared to football, they just are. They're just smaller, much, much smaller buckets, and they don't really cross over.
Right.
That was the thing that I heard from a big-time LSU donor actually the other day. He was actually on a podcast, and I heard him say that, and I thought, that's a really different way of looking at it. I just assumed everyone was somehow in there and all throwing in here and throwing in there. No, it's almost like special interest, right? And so you gotta know where the appetite is for certain moves, and that's probably what Verge Osbury is taking the temperature of right now.
Yeah, it's a delicate balancing act for sure. We'll talk women's college basketball on the other side of the soundbite. Coach McMahon talked after their latest loss to Oklahoma.
I thought their guards dominated the game on both ends of the floor. I thought offensively we struggled to contain them one-on-one off the bounce, and then Pack put such pressure on your defense with his ability to shoot the three from deep. He can do it off the catch. He does it off the dribble, does it in transition. He's made over 400 in his career. He's such a weapon there, and we struggled to contain that. I thought that's what led to some of the fouls in the first half where they got to the free throw line. And then on our offensive side, I just didn't do a good enough job getting our guys freed up for high-quality shots. I thought they we're really packed in tight. They did a good job protecting the paint and contesting shots, and we just didn't get the type of shot quality that we needed to get here today.